Coming up on Contributing to a Safer Ohio, the Center for P20 Safety and Security is working to help provide a safer learning environment for all Ohio schools. Also on this episode, the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles changes the way it issues state driver licenses and identification cards.
Just about everything about the transaction is going to be the same, except for that final step of providing the license to the customer.
But first, Ohio recently launched a voluntary accreditation program for licensed private investigators and security providers.
We wanted to make this very easy here at the department, and the Commission also wanted to make this very easy for the licensees across the state to get on board.
These stories coming up on this episode of Contributing to a Safer Ohio. The Ohio Private Investigation and Security Services Commission, with assistance from the Private Investigator Security Guard Services Unit, launched a voluntary accreditation program for licensed private investigators and security providers. This program focuses on a set of minimum standards the Commission believes all providers should have in place to safely provide services in Ohio.
The Commission is leading the nation with this program, ensuring that licensees meet minimum standards around use of force, their role and authority, and 4 other standards, which in turn creates a safer Ohio.
The Commission is composed of private investigator and security guard businesses holding Class A, B, and/or C licenses, the Ohio State Highway Patrol, chiefs of police, sheriff's offices, and the public. This commission advises the Director of Public Safety on all matters related to the regulation of private investigation and the business of security services.
Many times people hire security agencies or they see a security agency and they don't really know what they're getting. They don't know what they want either, really. They just want to feel safe. But like I say, there's such a wide variation in how the security industry operates that unless you have some sort of recognized standard, you may not know what you're getting. So I think that provides the public with some assurance that the level of protection they're getting has at least been reviewed and vetted and at least meets a minimum standard and what they can expect. So I think that helps, all Ohioans.
The Commission has established the following 6 standards as the foundation of the accreditation. Additional standards will be released in the coming years.
What I'm hoping for, I think best case scenario, is that Ohio becomes recognized as a place where the security industry has good established standards, they provide excellent service, and we are able to somehow show that relates to a safer Ohio for Ohio citizens.
Providers looking to participate in this program and citizens seeking more information can visit the PISGS website at pisgs.ohio.gov.
In 2011, we were alerted by federal authorities to a gentleman that had assumed multiple valid Ohio credentials using 42 different names, and he accomplished this by using fictitious immigration documents.
Every year, the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles Investigation Section examines cases ranging from financial victimization to more aggravated offenses such as identity theft. In an effort to ensure greater security and identification protection for customers and to comply with federal regulations, the Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles is introducing a single, central point of production for state driver licenses and identification cards beginning July 2, 2018.
With central issuance, our investigators and the BMV in general is going to have more resources to better scrutinize documents to confirm their validity. This not only helps with catching counterfeit documents, but also ones that have been altered.
While customers will still visit a deputy registrar for license and card renewals or other transactions, they will receive their driver licenses and identification cards by mail in a plain white envelope in about 10 days. This is no different than how customers receive passports, credit cards, and Social Security cards. Customers will receive a temporary confirmation of driving privileges from the deputy registrar until the card arrives in the mail. Ohio joins 41 other states to provide driver licenses and identification cards through the mail.
The benefits of this process is that we're able to incorporate far more sophisticated security features into the card, which will make it less susceptible to being compromised. It's far more tamper resistant. So in this case, we're going to be able to use the best technology and processes to better protect our customers' identities.
Centralizing the production of driver licenses and identification cards will reduce driver license fraud and identity theft by ensuring driver licenses and identification cards are issued to legitimate cardholders only, preventing loss and theft of secure materials from deputy registrar agencies, and providing a more secure printing environment, sparing the state the costs associated with security renovations at local deputy registrar agencies. Customers interested in using their state-issued credential for access to federal facilities or services, such as airport screenings by the TSA, may choose to obtain a credential that meets all federal requirements. Customers choosing this option when obtaining a new or renewed license or identification card will be required to provide documentation proving name, date of birth, social security number, birth certificate or passport, and 2 additional documents proving residential address. Customers not interested in or not needing to use their state-issued credential for federal identification purposes will have the option of obtaining a standard driver license or identification card without additional document requirements beyond those currently in place.
Customers should rest assured that this is a measure that's taken to better protect their information in the card production process.
For more information on these changes, please visit the BMV website. Over the past few years, Ohio has been expanding its efforts to make schools safer. Millions of dollars have been made available to enhance the physical security of schools and provide additional training opportunities for school officials and first responders. As part of the Safer Schools initiative, the Center for P20 Safety and Security was formed for the sole purpose of fostering a safe and supportive learning environment while addressing violence in educational settings across Ohio. The Threat Analysis Prevention Unit was also developed to provide analytical and assessment support to the Safer Schools initiative. P20 not only assists schools in developing and submitting approved emergency management plans, but provides access to a multitude of resources, expertise, and crisis assistance. One of those resources includes the Safer Ohio Tip Line. This anonymous tip line is used to provide staff, administrators, students, and parents a means of reporting tips regarding issues or concerns about their school. The tip line also offers an anonymous two-way texting feature. More than 2,500 schools have been registered to use the tip line, and tens of thousands of tip line promotional materials were provided to schools in the form of posters and handouts. To better prepare for potential active aggressor situations, a lessons learned educational video was distributed across the state to share the experiences of school officials who have lived through a school shooting. Their narratives about the time before the attack share a common theme. It can't happen here. It's the same impression most schools are under, but it's unfortunately no longer the reality.
Everyone says, well, it can't happen here. I don't think it'll happen here. This community felt that way until February 29th. On that day, around 11 a.m., during our 8th grade lunch, we had an 8th grade student who had brought a gun to school.
Like most of us would feel, for your school district, whatever it might be, would be the last place on earth this is going to happen. But as we found out, it wasn't. It was approximately around 7:20 that morning. The student who was the active shooter in this situation came to school, sat out in his car for several minutes, then entered the building with the rest of the students around 7:30.
The lessons learned from these encounters are broken down into 3 categories: prepare, take action, and recover. These lessons can be used by school administrators to improve their safety plans. The actions taken by students and staff before help arrives can play a vital role in the face of danger. This video serves as a reminder to schools that reevaluating, adapting, and practicing emergency operation plans is crucial to preparing for and surviving an active aggressor if such a tragedy were to occur. The Ohio Homeland Security Center for P-20 Safety and Security works to provide guidance and support to Ohio schools to enhance their strategies for safety, security, and emergency plan development.